cool beans. Okay. Somewhere tucked in the back streets of Toontown, there sits a little antique shop. Wood touched by the hands of time themselves, but still standing despite the bustling city life that is built up around it. But that's just the beginning. If we zoom in on this picture, quite a bit actually, we find a small doll tucked away in the attic space above the store, hidden away from any bigs that may wander up for more stock. And this is where our story begins today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is JayJay. I'll be the kind of pseudonym today. I don't know. I wrote a bunch of notes, and also no notes at all. And we are just going to do whatever. You can do whatever you want forever, actually. I will also be playing Tinker today, the little bastard toy. Yeah, that guy that I haven't played in I don't know, 2 years. Ugh. But joining me today, we have the wonderful Just.
Hello, my name is Max. I will be playing Totter.
Who's new? Brand new. We just finished baking
Brand
her.
new.
We just finished baking her yesterday.
Last night. Fresh out the oven.
Fresh out the oven, literally. Could not be more fresh.
Fresh out in the oven.
Okay. So let's actually get into the situation here. So, I mean, I know, but the gestures at the void that is our audience doesn't. Totter, you've just been kind of hanging out in this attic since you woke up, right? Keeping out of sight and stuff.
Yep.
What you been doing?
Nothing in particular, really. I think she was just a doll that was kind of sitting there. And then at some point, that doll realized it could think. And it didn't know what to do about that for a little while, so it just continued to be a doll. And then the doll realized it could sit up. So I think that she hasn't been doing very much, just kind of faffing about in the attic, kicking things around, spending a lot of time standing or sitting or lying still, occasionally watching whoever comes into the attic sometimes, a little bit of curiosity, but not much more. And that's how she's been for at least like a few months.
Okay. I made a roll while you were explaining and got an unnatural 20 on it.
Sick!
I am going to ask you at this time to roll perception.
Woo! Okay.
I have so many things. I have so many things open. God, I wish I miss having 2 monitors.
Unfortunately, I do not have the beans to be pulling out my tower.
That's
is the exclamation point before or after the R? I keep forgetting.
It's
Thank you so much.
The D comes before the 20. I don't know why it's not there. It got eaten.
It got eaten. What is her perception modifier? Ooh.
Isn't that one of the atrocious ones?
Yes.
Ah! That's a 7.
It barely saved
her. So yeah, on account of I got a 20 and you got a 7, you do not notice a single thing.
This is a very pretty speck of dust.
I have to consider back to how I said I wrote up a bunch of notes, but also no notes at all. I did not consider the possibility of her failing this. So now I'm like, well, what do I do now? Maybe you're looking around, looking at the stuff that's up there. I'm going to let you roll again just because.
Oh, okay.
I need you to get at least average or something. Help. Girl gender neutral help. He needs some milk. Holy shit.
That's more like it. That's more like it. That's more like it. Yeah.
So that is also an unnatural 20. So you were looking around and you're looking at all the bits and bobs or whatever and all the dust bunnies or whatever that are up here because you are 8 inches tall? Question mark. 8 inches tall. So you're looking at all the dust bunnies and stuff. And whoa, big garden. Excuse me. You notice or you hear some not quite skittering, but like really fast but quiet running. In between the boxes that are up here and stuff. And you can follow the source of the noise if you would like.
I'm gonna try and describe this in a way that like portrays her movement, but like I feel like she's bent over at the waist, and then she hears the skittering, and then she swings up and like overshoots it a little bit and sways back and forth, um, facing this other direction. Ooh, that is a mace I've never heard before. And she goes and thunk, 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 towards wherever that sound was.
There's so the sound does like keep moving on account of I mean we know that it's Tinker, she doesn't, but on account of the little asshole running around, does she just keep following the sound?
Yeah, zero comment, completely unbothered. It skitters off, she turns, she totters after it. It skitters off, she turns, she waddles after it.
Okay, are you being stealthy at all in the manner? In the
No.
I can do words. Okay.
In fact, I think her little porcelain feet like clunk against the wood.
Okay. I am going to go ahead then and roll perception. And Tinker has no modifier for that. Fantastic. Okay, Chief. Whatever you say. So that's a nat 1 to perception. Damn. Tinker hears not a fucking thing and eventually stops running away because the whole point of the stopping and listening was to make sure that no bigs were coming. Fuck hearing bigs. They hear shit nor dick. There's nothing. No, there's not a single sound in this attic to this little asshole. And you walk up right behind them. You have found the source of the noise. It is this little gray robot with this robot-looking toy with the kind of like light bulb antenna thing. And they are peeking around the corner of a box further into the attic, and you are right behind them.
I don't think she does anything at first. She Tinker is the only thing he's doing like look around.
Yeah. He is trying to stay hidden on account of that he doesn't want any full-sized people coming up here and taking him away. But other than that, they are just hiding and/or looking into the attic, trying to listen to see if any bigs are coming or any weird noises that they don't hear because on account of the nat 1 that I got.
And he's so concentrated on trying to hear like big voices or big actions like cooking or something. He might not hear like a little tick 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 of feet. I feel like she doesn't do very much at first. I have this image of Tinker like scuttling forward, stopping, looking around, and she like follows him. and then scuttling forward, looking around, and she follows him. And she just does this for a little while, like watching and waiting and seeing what she's doing, seeing what he's doing. Um, and then at some point, I think she would like lean a little bit closer behind him and go, "What are you doing?"
Um, uh, she does this, and
Oh no, I'm sorry. She would say, "What are you looking for?"
oh, so you say this, and the robot toy in front of you, leaps into the air almost as high as you are tall, which is rather impressive for someone whose limbs don't move that much. And just okay, let's see if I can do the voice because the mucus has been draining out of my nose all day and it sucks. What do they say? What do they say? Um, what the hell was that for?
What? I think she would tilt her head, and then tilt it back, and then tilt it back, and goes, "What was what for?"
You just gave me a heart attack.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to think.
This just in. Max has to play a character that actually speaks with words.
Don't remind me. This is gonna be a lot of waiting for me to cook.
That's okay. Cooking is part of the process.
Uh,
It's gonna be a lot of waiting for me to figure out how to do the voice again after 10 seconds. Also, I do see my mic like picking up sounds in the background, so if you hear the dryer running in the background, no the fuck you don't. The dryer or my heater that I just turned off. You don't hear either of those things. Shut up.
I think she is going to, her head is going to go back and forth again, and she goes, "I wasn't trying very hard. Do you have a weak heart?"
I love her. They kind of squint at her, like that kind of like beady-eyed squint that you get, and just it's a
Good. Blink,
figure
blink,
of speech.
blink, blink.
I feel like, I mean, I'll put the ref in the video, but I also feel like it's important to mention that she has a giant gaping hole in her head.
Yeah, one eye. Blink, blink,
I feel
blink,
like that's an important feature to mention about her.
She goes, "A figure? I don't see anyone else."
I'm going to.
Do you? Do you mean Gladys? And then she like swings an arm up to like one of those sorry, like dress mannequins. The ones that's just like the torso that you put dresses on.
I see. No, I don't. And I'm going to roll an insight, which is also a nothing modifier. I thought I got another one. Jesus Christ. Okay. I got an 11. They're trying to see, like, if she's doing this as a bit or if it's genuine.
Is she fucking with him on purpose?
Or if she just actually doesn't know what a figure of speech is. But it's an 11, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that isn't lame. Like, she's hard to read. her voice is a little exaggerated for one who is being serious, but her faith, but like she, the way she says it is very solid. There's no hesitation or giggling or anything. So there's like conflicting information.
Yeah, that sounds about right for my 11. The squint like fades away just a little bit, but they are still squinting at you, and just, do you not know what a figure of speech is?
I gotta cook. I gotta cook. I gotta cook. This is why I don't play characters that talk. This is why I don't play characters that talk. The dialogue is so hard.
For the record, uh, those who don't know, I think Totter is the first character Mags is playing in an actual thing who speaks. Um, she plays Switchbones in our Maniacs games, which I'll get to post someday. And then she plays Shellac in Draft House games, who and Shellac signs, and she's got retainers that talk, but
I'm
considering
not good at those either.
the retainers are not like the character with the sheet. There are some guys that hang around the character who has a sheet, so they are like they're there, but only sometimes. So it's mostly just shellac.
Do you not know what a figure of speech is? I'm trying to think of something that doesn't make her sound stupid. I mean, she is book stupid, but like it's supposed to be funny. Um, she's going to go. She's going to think for a second and say, "I've never heard of one before." And then she bends at the waist and gets real close to him to look, and she goes, "JayJay, you're never gonna forget. You're never gonna guess. But I had something and I forgot it."
I'm never gonna forget. Wrong. I forget everything all the time. But she just she
I've
gets
never
real
heard of
close.
one before. She gets real close and says, "Criminy."
It's okay. So she gets really close, and they take a step back because, like, what the fuck?
I got. I Okay. I'm overthinking it. She says, "I've never heard of it before," and she leans in and says, "What is it? What is it?"
I'm trying to think on how Tinker would explain it. Cons of not having played a character in several years. How the fuck do they think? Uh. It's like when you say something that has a similar meaning, I think.
Similar.
Yes.
Did you have something similar to a heart attack?
Yes.
What body part was it?
Not similar like that. And uh they kind of like bring a hand up to their non-existent chin to think.
She has suddenly considered that this person is not a person and is uh going to like look, 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 just like circle him while every once in a while pausing to look very closely at him.
Tinker is looking at you with suspicion.
But she's not touching. I'm not. She is not touching him. She
That
is just looking.
that he's still sus. What are you doing?
Looking at you.
Why?
I've never seen one. I've never seen one like you that move on its own.
Yeah, well, that's to be expected.
Is it?
You don't get out much, do you?
Where's out?
And Tinker just kind of not so subtly rolls his eyes. Like, suddenly everything makes sense.
She is now poking him.
He will,
Where is your heart anyway?
that is none of your business. And he'll, like, swat her hand away and step away from her.
Unbothered by the swat, she stops she pauses for a second, and then follows after him and continues to look very closely.
I would like to attempt another insight roll. I say attempt given how piss poor the last one went, but Jesus Christ. So that's a A. Wow, I miss having. I don't get to play Draft House characters very often anymore, but when I do, every single time one of them rolls, I'm like, wow, I miss Drew and actually having modifiers and rolling well. What's that like? I feel like that when I play Sammy too, because that motherfucker doesn't roll well at all ever either. Only Drew is allowed to have good rolls. Nobody else. Fucking okay. So I got A on insight. What microbe of information do I get on the topic?
What does he trying to insight?
What the fuck she's looking for?
She is looking here and there at his arm, at his little bubble, at his little panel, at his the light on top of his head, at his shoulder. She's looking here and there, and moving on every once in a while, not concentrating on anything specific.
And on account of my 8, I can't figure out why. Cool. I'm feeling a similar hatred that I do for Sammy whenever he rolls low. That is to say that I want to strangle this toy. I also I put up their ref to make sure I would describe their joints correctly on account of I was picturing the way that the joints are backwards in my head, and we have been misgendering them for a week.
Rip.
Whoops.
Rip that guy.
Whoops.
Rip that them.
Oh well, it's fine. Whatever. I think every time she, is she still circling them?
Mm-hmm. Not in a consistent predatory manner, just oh, she look. Oh, she moved to get a different angle. Oh, she look at something else.
I think. Okay.
Oh, she moved to get a different angle. Oh, she look. That kind of circling.
I think I have the mental image of every so often she stops and Tinker will move ahead to go somewhere else in the attic. And she just follows and then circles them again, and then it's the same sort of thing, and this goes on for a little bit, and just eventually Tinker will stop and turn to her and just, why are you following me?
I've never seen something like you before. You are interesting.
There's. Yeah,
Everything
maybe.
here has dust and pages and shiny little metal objects, but none of them look like you. None of them move, except me.
Part of me wants to roll an intelligence to see if the little idiot gets it. Please tell me you have a decent intelligence modifier. No, it's a 1. Okay. Oops. I can type. That's a 14.
Hey!
That's not that bad as opposed
That's
to
not
everything
that bad.
as opposed to everything else that I've rolled so far. So
Not
I
boy? That's not bad.
not boy. I think the wires click for a second and just there's no other tinies up here, are there?
There's a lot of tiny things. I will show you.
Not
Look!
not
And
not what I
she's
meant.
already gone. She's already gone.
I,
Um, she's already like tick 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 tick. Like I feel Tinker has been like scuttling around every once in a while to like peek out and see if there's anybody, right?
yeah.
I feel like she's like right out in the open, just like duck 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 duck, right straight across the place where he might have been like circling. And starts digging very loudly in a box.
Um as soon Tigger just sort of like watches her walk away and then is like she starts digging loudly in this box and will run up towards her and sort of pull her away from the box and just like in a kind of hushed tone just what do you think you're doing?
I'm showing you tiny things.
Do you
Come
have to
here,
do it
look.
this loudly?
I don't know how to be quiet. They're metal.
Um, and she pulls out a box. She like tilts the box towards him, and it's full of like random metal scraps. Might have been like uh an auto part, like an auto parts box that's old. Like there's a bunch of rusted stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she sticks her hand in, and she gets a little like a bolt, or yeah, bolt, like a nut and bolt, and she'll hold it in her hand, and it's about the size of like her hand, and she says, "See, tiny."
Okay. What I meant by tinies is someone like you and me, not tiny objects, tiny people.
Hmm, how tiny can they get?
They stop and think for a second. You know, I don't know how tiny they can be.
Um, she looks away, and then tick 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 across the room again, just as loudly as before, and she is going to start climbing a like one of those. It's not a bookshelf per se, but it's like a cabinet, and then like the cabinet has a small shelf on the back that comes out of it. She's gonna climb up one of those, uh, like up on a box, and then up on a chair, and then up on the cabinet, and then she's going to shuffle around, uh,
I need you to know
and
that, like, Tinker followed her over and then, like, stopped while she started climbing. And the higher she gets, the more, like, pinpricked their eyes become. Um, I don't know if you remember, as you are the one who drew their rev. Their eyes are very similar to Sammy's in that it's like a light bulb on account of being a robot with a brighter light in the middle making up the pupil. So that part just gets smaller and smaller and smaller the higher she gets.
uh, she pays no mind whatsoever. She is looking for something, and unless he has something that, or unless Tinker has something that they want to do, And she's going
Nah,
to continue.
they're just gonna let her climb. Much like the concern that they have over the fact that this person who's never been outside and doesn't really know what a figure of speech is now climbing this huge cabinet, and could possibly fall. And it is not lost to them that she's made out of porcelain and also has a big hole in her head already, so may or may not be prone to falling.
I think there are a couple baubles on the desk, like an old stopwatch, and like an old lighter that, as she's shuffling in, plummets to the ground and punk right against the floor, clatters.
Oh my god.
But at
This does
some point,
nothing to settle their nerves. Actually, it makes it worse on account of all of the fucking loud noises.
um, so at some point, she drags a book from one of the shelf corners and tumbles it down onto the at would you say where is Tinker?
On the floor still. Tinker has done no climbing. I should have
Oh,
made you
okay.
roll like in athletics or something to climb, but you know what? It's too
I
late.
can do that.
No, it's
Oh.
fine. We are already here. It's okay. It's an FPS. It's not as.
She is going to well okay, so she drags the book and then whoom, it onto the onto its cover so it's flat on the shelf, and she's pushing it open and she says, "Come up here." And there's rustling of paper.
Okay.
Oh no, she says, "What are you still doing down there?"
Oh my god. Okay. I'll roll athletics though because maybe it'll be funny. I need 20. I just looked up the modifier. What is it? +2. +2. Okay, 13. You were better at climbing than
Hey!
Drew. Thank God. Tinker, just kind of like squints again a little bit and climbs up the desk shelf, whatever this is, to be on the same level that she is. All right, what are we looking at?
She is shoving her way through the pages, taking no care to preserve them. But at some point, she gets to a section in the middle that has a group of illustrations. Like each page is an illustration. And at some point, and she opens one, and then she flips, 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 and then there's one of um, some people in a field. And then she takes her hand and she points at the people and looks up at Tinker.
How do you, what is this?
People. You said tiny people. These are tiny.
Not like that.
And she tilts her head and she goes, "Then like what?"
How do I put this? We are people. And there are other people that are our size or smaller. And then there are people who are a lot bigger than us. And those
Oh!
people are not always the nicest.
Like the person who comes and brings the boxes up to the attic.
Their eyes have gone pinpricked again, and they like slowly look up at her. The what?
Well, there is a person who is downstairs, and they talk, and they talk, and they talk sometimes. And sometimes they bring things up to the attic. And sometimes they even bring things back down. Not me yet, though.
Let's play a game called Should I Roll a Con Save or like a Will Save or something?
A con?
Yeah, because
Did she cause psychic damage?
yes. The string that that exists in their brain has snapped. For one, they have very quickly realized that A, they are not safe from Biggs here, so this is not a place they are going to stay. B, they don't know how she's lasted this long up here. Probably the hole in her head, maybe, or maybe they did that. They don't know. And 3, they need to leave, and they preferably need to take her with them on account of this person does not know anything, and that's probably not good. She needs to go outside and touch grass or something. So I think I'm going to roll that con save and see how well this goes for them, because I think it'll be funny. This is yeah. Fantastic. Everything is so fun and chill. That's a 8.
That's a 8. She's so stupid it caused psychic damage.
I love her so much. This is so fucking funny. I'm also going to let me go ahead and also roll a D2 while I'm here rolling dice. Fantastic. Cool beans. So while Tinker is currently having this brain reset moment because what the fuck? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah. While the dial-up sound is coming out of Tinker, you hear very loud thudding coming from below you.
Oh, that must be them.
And then she toddles right to the edge of the shelf and is peering around to look in the direction of where this person usually comes up through the floor.
Tinker is going to grab your wrist or
Nope.
your arm or what?
That was her reaction.
Oh, okay. Or your arm or something and drag you like back further into the shelf and try to hide behind something that's up here. So I would like for us both to roll stealth. And I already don't remember what their stealth roll is. Not that it matters. All of your modifiers suck. That or you just really suck at rolling. Well, fantastic. So she got a dirty 20. So she's fine. Fantastic. I love fucking. Okay. I needed to drink water really bad. So Totter got unnatural 20, so she's fine. Tinker, however, got a 6. So they pull her away from the ledge and like drag her behind something, and they like give her a little push to make sure that she's behind something, and then the hatch on the floor like bursts up on account of the person like coming up from down below, and Tinker is still just like standing there wide out in the open on this shelf, and just sort of does like the fucking Buzz Lightyear Andy's coming ass like ragdoll behavior and fucking freezes and drops where they're at in the hopes that nothing bad will happen. As this...
This is
Go ahead.
this is not trying to like take that and say no. Actually, what happens? Because like that's rude. But I did imagine that like as soon as the hatch opens, they're like, oh fuck, what do I do? And then he like pushes her, and she just slumps there and stays still. And then they're freaking out. They're like, what are we gonna do? We gotta get out of here! And then they fall off of the shelf and face first into the floor.
That would be so funny. I'm
Okay,
tempted to say yes, but...
okay. So she has whooped onto her into a sitting position. And she is watching Tinker do this curious little flop about. And she tilts her head and goes, "What are you doing?"
As the person, I did not pick an NPC at random to be in this.
Really?
No, I didn't. I did not do that.
Is it the twins and Terry again?
No. You're never gonna let me live that down.
No!
Let me reiterate for the record. But it could be. I'll get to you. Hold on. I have some explaining to do. For the record, okay, for those of you who are unaware, I mentioned Maniacs earlier. The very first Maniacs game that there was, I reran the community center spooky celebration game for a group of friends that were not in Draft House as like an introduction, and now that party is just, we're not gonna get into that. But in that game, I borrowed 3 of Wick's characters from the troupe from Virtuosos to be NPCs in that game. When we played that game, Mags had no idea who these people were. They were just some little guys that were in this hay bale maze that I'd made up. And then at some point after we did that, she started listening to Virtuosos Flourish, and it kind of became a big blorb of her, especially the twins. So she refuses to let me live down the fact that I put 2 of her now blorbos along with this other guy from the troupe in a game that she was in before she knew them. So she's still mad about it.
Die. Explode. I'll never recover.
I do not get to be the person to decide whether or not you see them in person again. They are not my guys. I borrowed them. And also then, for the record, Wick is here in the audience. Hi, Wick.
Hi, Wick.
Wick's like, but it could be implying that for some reason Terry or one of the twins would come up to this fucking antique shop attic. Consider, what if it's not? Why would they be up here? I'm not opening this can of worms. We're still recording. Oh, who did you mean? What do you mean? I didn't mean them. What do you mean?
Who you're threatening me with? Huh?
Yeah, that's scary.
You're gonna give me a heart attack.
There's that saying again.
Guy with 8,000 OCs. Yeah. Also, for the record, I feel like this should be prefaced since this has been brought up. This antique shop that we are in currently right now is not the same antique shop that Wick owns from Antique Mystique and other FPSs that Wes and Margaret have been in. This is a completely different place. They are not the same place. I don't own that building. This is some other random building in Toontown because it's a big place and whatever. So that's also on the record. Anyway, this random faceless NPC comes up because I didn't think that far ahead to pick a character to own an antique shop because I was not going to use this location again in theory. and starts looking around. Now that we've recovered from that serious tangent, this NPC is looking around. I'm just gonna call them the NPC now because nope. Not getting into that because then if I pick a character, it implies that one, either they own the shop, or B, they know who owns the shop, and I'm not doing that. I need another drink of water because I just said so many words. Don't you tee-hee me. Anyway, so she asks us as this big is up and in the attic and looking around, and Tinker does not respond to you at all.
I feel like she is unbothered.
As per usual.
Unbothered, hydrated, in her lane, flourishing. She's just gonna sit and watch the person do their thing.
Okay. This is where I'm gonna roll another D2 because this is the game where we roll dice. Okay. So this NPC is looking around at the bits and bobs that are up here in the boxes and looking through boxes and making some one-off comments about how much dust there is up here and they should really clean this place out and blah blah blah. They walk up to the shelf that you both are on and they kind of like tilt their head while looking at this very peculiar toy that's on here. They kind of squint at it like, I don't remember this being here. But they shrug it off and they keep going, looking through some of the other boxes and in the bits and bobs that exist up here. And this just kind of the looking around just kind of carries on for a little while. But Tinker doesn't move. And actually, I think I will make if I wanted to make a roll to see how still they can stay, would that be a con check or should I just try to roll another stealth?
Are you asking me or Wiki?
Whoever wants to answer, I guess.
I feel like it would be a.
I think it would be another stealth check.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's make another stealth check. You have a +2 to that. One day I'll remember that. It's not today, though. On account of the hardly playing. Jesus Christ. So that's a 4.
Oh, Tinker.
Oh my god.
Oh, Tinker. Oh, Tinker. Oh.
Maybe, okay. Jeez. Okay, so this NPC is rummaging around in boxes and being kind of odd about it because why would they try to be quiet? They're just rummaging through a box, nothing to see here or whatever. And the rattling is kind of loud and Tinker thinks, oh, this is my chance. I can get back into hiding and not have to worry about it. And then oh goodness gracious, excuse me. So they get up and they go to rush to where Totter is sitting on account of she's being able to hide and they aren't. And I don't know if it's the air or if there was they trip on something and they fall off of the shelf and clatter to the ground.
Raise his hand.
Yes.
Can she make an attempt to catch him?
You can make a deck. Let's say you can make a dex save in an attempt to save Tinker from falling off of the shelf.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay, so that's a 16. So you're sitting there and Tinker gets up and trips and you see them start to slowly roll or whatever. Will not roll on account of being a cube. You know what I mean, towards the edge, and you kind of make You do a little run, and you manage to catch their arm before they get too far over the ledge. So now they are dangling, and you are holding them up from not hitting the floor. This got a lot.
She's going to try to pull them up.
Roll
Would that be a
strength.
strength? Okay. Just a check.
Yeah, not a save. Just a check. Holy fuck!
So not only does she pull them up, she is going to pull them up, and while holding them, tuk, 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 back to where they were hiding, flop back down and sit them right next to her.
um,
And
that,
she's going to go continue on watching the person rummage.
for the recording, that was a nat 20 for 23. So yeah, that exact thing happens because holy shit. Tinker, you yoink them up and they go stock still again, mostly out of like shock and maybe fear at this point, and they just kind of sit there while you watch the big, and then eventually, the NPC goes back downstairs, closes the hatch, and you two are alone in the attic again.
I wonder what they were looking for.
Who cares?
They do, I suppose.
Okay.
They must have been looking for something. They never come and get Gladys. She's been sitting there since the whole time. The whole time I've been here.
Okay. We
She's
need
once
to
again talking about the dress
leave.
mannequin.
We need to leave. Now.
Leave? Why?
Because it's dangerous?
And she pauses and looks around at the little attic with now dust motes fluffing about, and she goes, "What's dangerous?"
You see like an actual metaphysical dot dot come up above Tinker's head and just, okay, yeah, we need to go. And Tinker will grab her arm again and lead her to the edge and start climbing down the shelf, rather than falling off like they did a minute ago, and start looking for a way out of here. Dragging her along behind them if they must.
Yeah, she's just letting herself be pulled. Once again, unbothered, hydrated, flourishing. She, I like the so veto this if you don't think, but I like the image of like him of Tinker very obviously being stressed out, strung out, absolutely like stiff from stress. And Totter's just like cold hand behind him, like,
Okay, thank God. Okay. I rolled a survival. Not for like survival reasons, just to see if the dipshit could get them out of the attic somehow, and I got an 18. I think, and I didn't figure out how Tinker got into the attic, so again, that's probably on me. But Tinker goes out the same way that they came in, and this time, they have a little friend with them, and by little I mean she's taller than they are. That
raise his hand.
yes.
What is the weather like?
I'm going to say that it is a nice sunny afternoon here. We do end up in an alleyway though, just outside of the antique shop. This being said, that is all that I have for FPS.
Really?
What is her? Well, yeah, like
Oh, okay.
Puts my hand on your shoulder. Unlike in Maniacs, where minis are 4 fucking hours long for some reason, FPSs are kind of only supposed to be an hour.
Oh,
We just
all right.
go fucking insane over there. What I will ask though, this is her first time outside. What is her reaction to being outside?
That's precisely why I asked about the weather. I think she doesn't like realize that they're outside. She doesn't like realize what outside is yet because they're in an alleyway, which I feel like very similar to an attic in like a sense of like cramped space,
Mm-hmm.
clutter. So I feel like she's out, but she does not realize it yet.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Oh, I've never seen this part of the attic before."
I think
Totter has, or Tinker has let her out, and so far, her impression is that this is what the whole world is like.
oh my god. That's okay. I don't know which or what kind of safe house Tinker will take her to. But they will attempt to explain as they go. And our shot kind of fades out from there. Yippee!
Yay!
Totter is here now.
Totter!
This whole time, I have been trying to figure out how to preserve this Shelock image so I could change my icon to Totter. And now the FPS is over.
Yeah, because
Now it's all the way over.
you can still just change your icon, Chief.
I know.
But with that, thank you so much for playing. I love her so much.
Yay!
Thank you to our audience, both present and in the future, for anyone who's listening.
In the future?
In the future.
I love future.
And I hope you have a good time zone, everyone.
Yay!
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye!